Have a nice day to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. I just started, Anna. I just started now. Hi, Kirk. How are you? Thank you so much. Hi, hello, Tommy. How are you, Tommy? Thank you so much, Tommy, for joining in the line. Next name is Delia in the chat. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in the line. And next name is Hi, Anto. How are you? Thank you, Anto, for joining the for joining in the live. Next name is who's here in the chat. Hello, Lily. How are you? Thank you so much, Lily, for joining in the live. Next name is here is Looney in the chat. Hi, Looney. How are you? Thank you, Looney, for joining in the live. Next name is Simon in the chat. Hi, Simon. How are you? And here is Nolia in the chat. Hi, Nolia. How are you? Welcome to the live. Next name is, I see here is next name is, I see Saville in the chat. Hi Saville, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in the live. And here is, hi Maria, how are you Maria? Thank you Maria for joining in the live. And here is Abdullah Ismail, Ismail. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a nice day. Hello to you in the chat. Hello Claudio, how are you? Thank you so much in the live. And here is Mocha in the chat. Hi Mocha, how are you? Next name I see here is and next name I see here is Emily in the chat. Hi Emily, how are you? And here is next name is Cyrus in the chat. Hi Cyrus, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in the live. And here is also in the chat. Hello, how are you? And here I see next name is Gabby in the chat. Hi Gabby, how are you Gabby? And here is Mariana, how are you Mariana? Thank you so much Mariana for joining in the live. And here I see Eleonora. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a great day to you. And here is Maulu in the chat. Hi Maulu, how are you? Thank you Maulu for joining in the live. Next name is Hi Mariam. How are you, Mariam? Thank you so much, Mariam, for joining in the live. And here I see here is here is Mapley Hospital. Here you go. Thank you so much. Okay, next name I see here. I see. Okay, here is Lorhan in the chat. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a great day. And here is Nadina in the chat. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much. And here is Afreed. Hi, Afreed. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Okay, next name. Who's here in the chat? Let me see. Next name is Hi Samia. How are you, Samia? Thank you so much, Samia, for joining in the live. Have a great day. Join, okay, who's here, who's in the chat? Drop your name. Next name is, who's here in the chat? Let me see. Okay, I see. Next name is, what happened? Why it's called black? Next name is Zoe in the chat. Hello, Zoe. How are you? Thank you, Zoe. And here is Pamela in the chat. Hello. How are you? Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a lovely day to you. Okay, next name is I think it's a network issue. Okay, I think something is going to be wrong. Send it. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a great day. And next name is Alina. How are you, Alina? And here is Yasodora in the chat. Hello, Yasodora. How are you? Aluna. How are you? Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a great day to you. And next name is, I see here is Maram in the chat. Hello, Maram. How are you, Maram? And here is, next name is Zufruf. How are you? Thank you so much. Spelling in the chat. Hello, Spelling. How are you? And here is Elon. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Have a great day. And here is Queen in the chat. Hello, Queen. How are you? And here next name is Hussein Khan in the chat. Hi, Hussein Khan. How are you? Thank you so much, Hussein Khan, for joining in the live. Next name is Adrija in the chat. Hello, Adrija. How are you? And here is Ryan in the chat. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Okay, guys, I'm going to end the live. I think network issue. Network is not working right. I need to turn off the live. See you tomorrow, everyone. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for joining in the live. Okay, Diana. Thank you, Diana, for joining in the live. Have a great day. Okay, I'm checking last 5 names, then I will end the live. Okay, everyone, I'm going to turn off the live. Vanshika, how are you, Vanshika? Thank you so much, Vanshika, for joining in the live. Next name is Viana. How are you, Viana? Thank you, Viana, for joining in the live. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. GMT. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye. See you tomorrow. Good night.